separate us, but they also protect us.
You know, it's gonna be hard getting over the wall.
You sure that you want to do this?
Go, 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 go!
Those people out there kept us in a cage for 200 years. That is not someone I want to engage with.
Hey guys, welcome back to Critic and Fan, and we are here reviewing the third movie in the Divergent series, Allegiant, starring, I forgot people's names, there's a big cast, hold on. Shailene Woodley, Theo James, Miles Teller, Jeff Daniels, and a bunch of other people we don't care about.
There is a lot of people in this movie.
Alright, so after the events of Divergent and Insurgent, we finally have our characters being able to see that they can escape the walls of Chicago and leave all the ugliness of Chicago behind to go to this new, better human society outside these walls. And once our main characters get there, they are in for a rude awakening. And back at home, we have a civil war going on between the Allegiant and whatever faction 4's mom is.
They're
on.
factionless in this one.
Factionless, thank you, Rob.
A couple of days before this movie came out, Mikey and I watched the first Divergent, and then we watched Insurgent in a row.
The Divergent movie was actually pretty good. I thought I was going to hate it, or maybe just really dislike it, but you know, it wasn't like an entirely great movie, but it wasn't a bad movie. It was just nice in between, and there was, even though there were some problems with it, it was a pretty enjoyable movie actually. And Insurgent, I didn't really care for as much. I thought it was okay. I thought it was just kind of dull though for most of the part of the movie.
I like Insurgent better than Divergent. I feel like they upped it a little bit, and they brought more of the Trish character out. Like, she has to deal with, like, you know, PTSD.
Yeah, well, in the first movie, you see her training. You know, you find out that she's a Divergent, and that, you know, she can't belong to any kind of faction of class, and so she's trying to struggle to find her identity, even though her identity is being a Divergent. And so the entire first movie is her just, you know, training and working hard, and then finally she becomes a full-on adult, and then she takes on the corruption of Chicago. And then the second movie is just them continuing that fight against the corruption. But
she's dealing with a lot more in this one.
That is true.
She deals a whole bunch more that happened in the first one. She's dealing with a lot of the consequences of her actions and her inactions, I guess? Is that what you call it? Inactions? Because she didn't act, some things did happen. So I feel in the second one she was a lot stronger, and she had like a lot more quick reactions to things. She didn't just pause a lot.
Despite that, I still thought it was boring. But it doesn't matter because we have a third movie, Allegiant, and does it deliver a higher, better, cooler movie than the first two? Meh. It's alright. Yeah. It's not that great, I think. Pros.
Oh, good pro.
Do we have
the
pros?
cast is really good looking.
That's one pro. But besides that, the acting was okay. The acting was good. Yeah, I mean, everyone did what they could.
I enjoyed the acting in it.
Well, there was one character that I make fun of the most, and that is the character of 4. You know, it's funny because the entire series, he just has the same look on his face of just a very stern, just like a mean, not mean, but he doesn't show emotion a lot in these movies, and it's kind of wooden, but it's not like Anakin Skywalker, you know, Hayden Christensen, Star Wars prequel wooden acting. It was just, he wasn't as bad as that, but it was just kind of like, dude, just show some emotion when you're speaking. But besides him, he did okay.
No, okay, back up a little bit. In this movie, I think he was the best character in this movie.
Most fleshed out, at least. Fleshed out.
Like, his face, like, had one look the entire time. But he is more fleshed out. He becomes, like, a more likable character in this movie. They actually brought him out a little bit more than I think they did in the previous two.
More likable, for sure, than the main character, Trish, which I thought was kind of... She was kind of like Katniss in Mockingjays Part 1 and 2 for me, where she just was just kind of there.
Yeah, like, the first two movies, I really liked her. And then this one, by the second act, I'm like, I'm done with her.
But when she does have to bring those emotional moments, you know, she does bring it, you know, when she has to cry, she does. When she has to, you know, just bring out this drama.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, she's really good. The actress is really good here.
And speaking of good acting, we have Jeff Daniels, and he did a really good job in the movie. He just basically brought that extra oomph that this franchise needed, that mature presence, if you will.
I also like Miles Teller. He doesn't, but I thought Miles Teller was great. I mean, yeah, he hasn't changed at all.
I don't like his
But
character at all.
out of all the side characters, I think he is the most fleshed out.
Okay, I will give you that. Miles Teller's character is the most fleshed out. But in the Divergent movie, he was just a jerk for no reason. out of the bat, right? No reason whatsoever. Second movie, he was still a jerk. And even in Insurgent, even when he flips to the good side, I'm still like, all right, now you're just an annoying, wishy-washy flip-flopper guy who just can't decide what he wants in life. And in this third movie, it's more of the same. And I'm like, dude, at least in the third movie, there should be some growth in characters, even if you're a side character. And his character is just the same throughout, and it's annoying to me.
Yes, he's the same, but I still enjoyed it. He was a fun character to have throughout the movie because he did bring some comic relief. But everybody else, they're kind of like this background.
And that's one complaint that I have with this franchise is that all these side characters, you don't care about them at all. And, there are people that die in the first two movies that you should feel that gut, that hit in your gut. You're like, oh, they die, the emotions, the sadness. But when people leave, it's all right, go on to the next one. The problem with this franchise is that they never build up these characters at all. Like we said before, Miles Teller, I don't like him, but he's fleshed out. We have characters like, I think her name's Christina. She's just the good friend, right, of Trish. You have no idea where she comes from, what her background is like. We're in the third movie now. Flesh her out more. We have another character, I forgot her name, but we'll throw her photo up for you guys to see what we're talking about. But same thing, she was just there in the beginning, and she was there in the second movie. She doesn't do anything, and we don't know her backstory at all. It's like, why are they just throwing characters at us without telling us anything about them? And when things happen to them, they expect us to care when we don't care.
Yeah, it's like, oh, a hot person is dead. That is sad.
Right? It's sad, right? Right? It's trying so hard to pull emotions out of you, but you just don't care. Honestly, if almost all of these characters died, I would be actually okay with that because
dang, that's harsh.
It's less characters to worry about, and we should focus on the main two characters, Trish and Four. One big complaint that I have about this movie is the very bad usage of CGI and green screen. There are a couple moments in this movie that I cannot forgive, that it just takes you out of the experience a lot of times in the movie. And when you see these scenes, you're just kind of like, It was the kind of CGI that I saw on Goosebumps, but the problem with Goosebumps was that it was meant to be a kid's movie, so that CGI was passable for that type of movie. When that same type of CGI is in a much more adult movie like Allegiant, you kind of expect more out of it.
I enjoy this movie. If you watch it, you will probably enjoy it as well. Fans of the series,
You enjoyed this movie?
it was a fun movie to watch. I didn't feel like I wasted my money or my time.
I thought that this movie is really forgettable. I think that if you're a big fan of this franchise, you'll enjoy it. I think that if you're a fan of the book, you'll enjoy it. But if you're just a casual movie watcher that's trying to find a good sci-fi movie to watch, I would say this movie is really good for if you're having a game night or a party, and it's just playing in the background. It's one of those movies where you just kind of go, you're just playing a game.
Dude, that is harsh.
Oh, the movie's on. Look what's happening.
Okay.
Okay, let's play Clue. Let's play Life.
If you are a fan of the series, I recommend going and watching this in theaters because, and like I said, if you are a fan, you probably will enjoy this one too. And it isn't horrible. The acting's good on it. They have some really good action scenes in it. It's passable.
The action's pretty good, actually. There are a couple action scenes where the characters. There were some times where I actually was like, hey, that's not a stunt double. That's actually them doing stunts. And that was pretty refreshing to see. But there are, still, that's not enough for me to be like, okay, this movie's great. Go watch it.
Okay. Fans, see it. Everyone else, wait till DVD.
All right, guys, that's our quick thoughts on Divergent's newest film, Allegiant. What do you guys think? Oh, man, we have another movie to go, huh? We have a fourth movie that comes out in 2017. But hopefully that this fourth movie can go out with a bang, because the first two movies were actually okay. They were pretty well. The first movie was good. Second one I thought was okay.
It was good.
Third movie, meh. Hopefully, come on, fourth movie, just make it good. Just end it on a high note. That's all we ask for.
So, guys, what do you think about the movie? Did you like it? Leave a comment below. What's your favorite young adult movie, or what young adult book do you want to see become a movie?
So far, my favorite is probably Catching Fire from Hunger Games series. That was a pretty good movie.
I didn't care about the Hunger Games movies.